either at the draft board or at the local police station before December. 200 persons have already come back. We are also discussing the stationing of troops in the Baltic states. Now, as for the stationing of troops in these Baltic states, what would you like to say about that? We have a preparatory process, looking forward to the negotiations. What can you say today about this? I can say to our comrades and officers and soldiers and their families that the Ministry of Defense and our government, the President of the country, know of their needs and concerns, which today, the problems that they're burdened with today. And so, as to avoid discriminatory steps with regard to them, we intend to strive in the shortest period to adopt political solutions and decisions which would guarantee their legal and social position and find a humane way out of the situation. Unemployment has a woman's face today. Women have received a new right, the right to be fired first. And according to our new center, we have opened today a women's labor market. Under pressure of the market, the weakest persons are losing their jobs, and the women are losing their jobs. Children are suffering. Children particularly suffer if their mother is the only provider for the family and she loses her job. We have roughly 2 million children who are in this situation. And we have a good deal of real despair here. Here's the hotline, and we have all kinds of pain coming over this phone line, saying that people have nothing to feed their children with. Women are losing their jobs. And we have frank discrimination of women. Women are fired first, and they're not hired because they're women. And that's why we have created a special social program to support women. Here we have representatives of women's organizations, and we're going to have to fill in new slots, and we have a number of new specialists. Many of them have a higher education. Some women have been able to find new jobs, but others are still looking for jobs. We are organizing a women's labor market. We're doing retraining for women. We're developing cottage industries. We want to keep their positions in those situations where they only provider for the family. At the women's labor market, there's agreement as to cooperation, but the difficult times are still ahead. In Moscow, we've completed work for UNESCO on the situation of women in various countries, in greetings addressed by Gorbachev, Khasbulatov, and other Soviet leaders, addressed to the women at this organization. They wish them their best and expressed their hope for reforms. All our large problems have been now added to by children's problems. In many of our maternity wards, the conditions are terrible. There's no children's food, no toys, no medication. We have other problems too. Children can't get into the movies. We were closing down our last child's theater. The organization, Children of the World, hopes to express pain over the inadmissible pain which we hear of on the part of children. And so we've decided to open up a center which will be called Our Children. We will have the best children's books there, cartoons. We'll have children's commodities, a child's pharmacy. Some of our major enterprises, Azovka, the Unitep Bank. Our Finnish and Swedish friends are ready to help us actively. And the Russian government has supported us, and we have also received support from the Moscow City Council. Of course, there are people who are trying to interfere with our work, but I believe that goodwill will be victorious. There is one sin which can never be forgiven. That is a sin against children. For that reason, I believe that not only in Moscow, but in other cities as well, in the sovereign republics, there will be centers which will have fatherly and motherly love. And people will be concerned about their children. And this should be the first concern in our life. Let's hope that things are going to be that way. We have received a sad piece of news. A famous Soviet poetess, Julia Junina, committed suicide. She committed suicide by carbon monoxide poisoning in her car. She was born in Moscow in 1924. In the beginning of World War II, she went to the front as a volunteer. She was only 17. She received the Red Star Award and the Patriotic War Award as well. A laureate of the State Prize. She was also a member of the Supreme Soviet of the USSR. Today, the Moscow Federation of Labor has decided to close down the Lenin Library. All 5 sections of the main building have been shut down, and the library cannot serve its visitors. The group is unhappy with the decision which was made by government arbitration with regard to the case of the Hasidic Jewish community as to give the collection of Schneerson to them. And they're going to appeal it with international organizations. And those are international news. And here I will hand things over to Nina Yeromina for sports news. Today we're having the boxing championship, the finals. We received 2 silver medals. There's Arthur Grigoryan from Tashkent and Alexander Levziak from Magadan. At this weight category, the champions of the world were Tommaso Russo and Marco Rudolph from Germany. Tomorrow we have 3 more Soviet boxers who will try their hand. The champion of Europe, Konstantin Zuis Serova, and likewise Israel Prohyan, who is from Yerevan, and Andrei Korniavka is from Tashkent. Of course, we are going to they're going to have a hard fight. So we wish the best to our soccer teams in Japan. Here we also have the championship in checkers. We wish all the best to Alexei Chizhov and Guntis Badneras. And now we see the soccer scores. This is a women's soccer team, there's a lot of many people have come to see the games. The tribunes, the bleachers are full. We can see the Chinese team playing very well. They won 4-1. Our women soccer players have been less successful, but we think that with time they will improve their game. Now, as for the World Championship, we have the Chinese team among the leading groups. So here are some of our soccer scores. The Dynamo Kiev and the Dynamo Minsk score was 2-0. Here you see a team match between Pakhtohorge team in Tashkent and the CSK, who are the champions, and they utilized a number of advantageous moments, and they was a decisive victory here. So it wasn't boring in the bleachers at all. But nevertheless, finally, the hosts managed to settle to even the score, and Moscow won the game. Here we have a young man who is the hope of our, who is very talented young man. This is Sergei Lavrinov from Vitebsk, a weightlifter who has shown that he's able to treat these heavy weights as if they were toys. And he raised a total of 297 kilograms. That's one of the best results in the weight category of up to 60 kilograms. So he's young but not inexperienced. I know everybody is waiting for the results of the game between Moscow's Dynamo team and the Chimik team in Voznesensk. The score there was 4-3 in favor of Moscow's Dynamo. In New York, we at Madison Garden, we see the Virginia Slim tournament. Here we see 35-year-old Martina Navratilova and 19-year-old Aranta Sanchez. They are equally skilled, but Martina, in spite of her original problems, she lost 1-6. She eventually managed to win with